Hello students, hope you all are fine. Earlier we have seen system of resistors connected in series and parallel. Today we are beginning with sums related to that. Numericals where series and parallel connections are involved. And I have started with example 12.7. An electric lamp whose resistance is 20 ohm and a conductor of 4 ohm resistors are connected to a 6 volt battery. Calculate total resistance in the circuit, the current through the circuit, and the potential difference across the electric lamp and the conductor. Now the circuit diagram is shown like this. One is 4 ampere resistance and other is bulb, that is 20 ampere. They both are connected in series. Now we know that in order to find out resistance in series, the total resistance will be sum of the individual resistances. So we have the first answer as that R is equal to R1 plus R2. So when R equals to R1 plus R2 comes, it will be 20 plus 4 and that will be 24. Now we want to calculate current. Now current will be calculated using Ohm's law. V is equal to IR, therefore I is equal to V upon R. Now we have voltage 6 volt and resistance 24. So I will be 6 upon 24. It will be 1 upon 4 and finally it will be 0.25 ampere. If you understand the sum, these sums are easy. Only the thing is that you need to remember the formula, related formula, so that you will be able to solve it properly. Let's come to the third part. Potential difference across R1 and R2, that is bulb and the conductor. We know that V is equal to IR, that is Ohm's law. So V1 is equal to IR1. So to 0.25 into 4, because 4 is the resistance of that particular resistor 1. So 0.25 into 4, it will give us 1. Similarly, V2, that is IR2, that is 0.25 into 20. So 0.25 into 20 will come to 5 ampere. So 5 ampere current flows through the resistor R2. Let's see that one extra sum. Extra note, we can also find total resistance from here. We can verify R is equal to R1 plus R2. We can also verify R is equal to, let's see how it is verified. So we have R is equal to V upon I. So that is 6 upon 0.25 because 6 volt and I is equal to 0.25 ampere. And that's why we will get ultimately 24 ohm, which we have earlier calculated. R is equal to R1 plus R2. That was 4 plus 20 and it came 24. So we know that conductor offers 4 ohm resistance and bulb offers 20 ohm resistance. So the total resistance in the circuit is going to be 24 ohm. Okay. Let's see another sum. In the electric circuit diagram given, suppose resistance R1, R2 and R3 have values 5 ohm, 10 ohm and 30 ohm respectively, which have been connected in to a battery of 12 volt. Calculate current through each resistor, total current in the circuit and total circuit resistance. So we have here I1 we will be able to calculate. We have seen earlier in how total resistance is found when resistors are connected in parallel. We know that here we had connected one ammeter, here we had connected another ammeter, here it was connected third ammeter. So we can actually find out current going through R1, current through R2 and current through R3. So that is what we are going to find out. So I1 is equal to V upon R1. So we have I1 is equal to V upon R1. So that is 12 upon that particular value of the resistor R1. So 12 upon 5, it comes to 2.4 ampere. Then I2 will be V upon R2, that is 12 upon 10, it comes to 1.2 ampere. And I3, that is V upon R3, that is 12 upon 30, and that comes to be 0.4 ampere. Before going to B and C, let's see total resistance. How to find total resistance in parallel? We have that particular formula, 1 upon R is equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R3. So we have 1 upon 5 plus 1 upon 10 plus 1 upon 30. 30 will be LCM. So taking LCM, we can calculate further. It will be 6 plus 3 plus 1. I hope you know how to calculate addition and subtraction of fractions. That is very important part over here. So 30, when we take the LCM, numerator we will be having 6 plus 3 plus 1. So total comes 10 upon 30, and as a result 1 upon R is 1 upon 3, and that's what R is going to be 3 ohm. So that is the total resistance. Now I am coming to part B, total current in the circuit. We have total resistance we have found, so we will be able to find out the current. So I is equal to V upon R, that is 12 upon 3, it is going to be 4 ampere. So here also I have shown that here how we can have, or how we have earlier said that I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. So first I1 was 2.4, 1.2 and 1.4. If we add them, we get 4 ampere. Here also total current in the circuit comes out to be 4 ampere. So both these values are same. This we have earlier stated in that particular calculation of resultant resistance of resistors when they are connected in parallel. Now see example 12.9. Important example. From the circuit diagram it looks that it is confusing, but it is not at all. Now here see, R1 and R2 are connected in parallel. R1 and R2 are connected in parallel. Here R3, R4 and R5 are also connected in parallel. So when we want to find out total resistance in the circuit, we will find out R1 plus R2, that will be resistance, total resistance for these two. We will find total resistance for R3, R4 and R5. And total resistance of this and this particular one, they are connected in series. So we will, let's see the sum. In given figure, R1 is 10 ohm, R2 is 40 ohm, R3 is 30 ohm, R4 is 24 ohm, R5 is 60 ohm, and a 12 volt battery are connected as shown in circuit. Calculate total resistance in the circuit. So I said that these two are connected in parallel. So it will be, we will calculate total resistance of these two. These three are also connected in parallel. We will calculate that also, and after that we will add these two because they are in series. So note here, that is what we have written, that R1 and R2 are in parallel. R1 and R2 are in parallel. R3, R4 and R5 are parallel, but the resultant resistances are in series. So we must find resultant resistance R1 and R2, say R dash, and then we will find resultant resistance of R3, R4 and R5, say R double dash. So let's find out first 1 upon R dash, that is 1 upon R1 plus R2. So it is equal to 1 upon 10 plus 1 upon 40. 40 is the LCM. So we have 4 plus 1 upon 40. So 5 upon 40, and 5 upon 40 will be 1 upon 8. So 1 upon R dash is 1 upon 8. Therefore R dash is going to be 8 ohm. So we have got resultant resistance of R1 and R2 as 8 ohm. Now we find out of those remaining three. So we have 1 upon R dash, double dash. So it is 1 upon R3 plus 1 upon R4 plus 1 upon R5. So we have 1 upon 30 plus 1 upon 20 plus 1 upon 60. By taking LCM, we have here 2, because 32s are 60, 23s are 60 and 61s are. So we have 2 plus 3 plus 1, and that is how we get 6 upon 60. 6 upon 60 will be 1 upon 10, and 1 upon 10, it is 1 upon R double dash. So we will be able to calculate R dash as inverse of 1 upon 10, that is 10 ohm. So total resistance in the circuit R will be R dash plus R double dash, because those two resultant resistances of R1 and R2 and that of R3, R4 and R5 are in series. So we have written 8 plus 10, that is 18 ohm. That is the total resistance in the circuit. Now total current flowing in the circuit can be calculated by Ohm's law. I is equal to V upon R. V is given 12. R we have calculated 18. So it is 12 upon 18. It comes to 2 upon 3, and that is 0.67 ampere. That is the total current in the circuit. Let's see one extra sum. In the given circuit, calculate total resistance in the circuit. Now it is similar to the previous one. Only the thing that is to be seen is R1 and R2. These two are in series. So we will here find out their total resistance as R1 plus R2. It will be 3 plus 2, 5. Then this R3 and that 5 are in parallel. So let's see. Total resistance in the circuit, and we want to calculate current shown by the ammeter. So here we say that we have written, you also try to understand what has been written. Here we say that R1 and R2 are in series, but their resultance is in parallel with R3. So therefore resultant total resistance of the circuit will be 1 upon R is equal to 1 upon R1 plus R2, because R1 and R2 are in series. So 1 upon R1 plus R2 plus 1 upon R3. So it is 1 upon 3 plus 2, that is 1 upon 5 plus 1 upon 5. So we have 2 upon 5. So R is going to be 5 upon 2. 1 upon R is 2 upon 5. So R is equal to 5 upon 2, and that is going to be 2.5. So here current shown by ammeter will be, by Ohm's law, I is equal to V upon R. So 2.5 upon 2.5. So 2.5, that is the voltage of the battery, and 2.5, that is the resultant resistance that we have calculated. So 2 upon 5 plus 2 upon 2 upon 5 will give us 1 ampere. Total 1 ampere current is passing through the circuit, or passing through ammeter, or it is recorded by the ammeter. Now we are coming to important part of this chapter, that is what we call it as heating effect of electric current. Now the chemical reactions within a cell or a battery generate potential difference between its two terminals. This potential difference gets electron in motion. Now actually potential difference, that is the potential energy which is supplied by the battery, by which those electrons can be brought in motion. So to flow through any circuit, that is through a resistor or a system of resistors are connected to the cell or battery, potential difference is required. Earlier I have said, when I was talking about positive terminal and negative terminal, that whichever terminal is higher potential, that is positive, whichever terminal has lower potential is negative, and whenever both the terminals show equal potentials, then they are not capable of generating potential difference. At that time we say that that cell or that battery is used up, it is fused, it is no more can it be used. So to maintain this flow, the source has to keep expending its energy. So in order to bring those electrons in motion, energy has to be continuously supplied. Part of the energy is used in maintaining the flow of electric current. So part of the energy, part of the potential energy which is coming from the source, that is used to maintain the flow of current, that is flow of electron. Part of the source energy is converted into heat while overcoming the resistance of the conductor. So when an electric current is passed through a high resistance wire like nichrome wire, then the resistance wire becomes very hot and produces heat. because their resistance offered is more, and that's why that particular wire will get heated up more. That same thing happens in the case of bulb even. Bulb in which the filament is there, that filament is offering very high resistance. So when we allow current to pass, because of high resistance, that particular wire gets heated up. So the filament gets heated up. It becomes red hot, and as a result it starts emitting light energy. Heat is also produced, but at the same time light is also produced. So light energy is obtained in that manner, especially in bulb. So do remember, whenever the current is passing through the wire, in overcoming the obstacles, in overcoming or in allowing electrons to move, sometimes some part of energy from the source is converted into heat. What we call it as heating effect of electric current. In purely resistive circuit, that is when we are talking about nichrome wire, that is purely resistive. When we talk about filament in the bulb, purely resistive. In purely resistive circuits, the source energy continually get dissipated entirely in the form of heat, because there most of the energy from the source is converted into heat, because it is offering very high resistance. This is known as heating effect of electric current. Heating effect of electric current is used in devices like electric heater, electric iron, electric oven, etc. Consider a current I flowing through a resistor of resistance R. Let the potential difference across it be V. Let T be the time during which the charge Q flows across. So work done in moving charge Q, we have earlier seen W is equal to VQ. So W is equal to VQ. Now the power is known as work done upon time. Rate of doing work is known as power. So power is work done upon time. Now work done, we know VQ. So we will have VQ upon T. We have VQ upon T. W upon T. W is VQ. So VQ upon T. Now I have separately written this VQ upon T as V into Q upon T. And Q upon T we know that it is VI. Because Q upon T, charge upon time, that is current. So we get one relation, P is equal to VI. Do remember. Let's obtain another relation. The energy supplied by to the circuit by source in time t is Pt. So P into T will be VIT, because power we know it is V into I. This energy gets dissipated in the resistor as heat. Thus, for a steady current I, the amount of heat produced in time t is given by H is equal to VIT. Actually, we are calling it H. H is heat energy produced. So, H is equal to VIT. But we know that V is equal to IR. So, instead of V, if we replace IR, then it will be IR into IT. And that's why we will get I square. I into I, that is I square RT. H is equal to I square RT. Very important result that we are getting. H is equal to I square RT. This is known as Joule's law of heating. This particular formation, this particular relation, this particular equation is known as Joule's law of heating. Do remember. And how it is derived, that has been explained. You might be asked to even derive this particular relation, H is equal to I square RT. So do remember. This law implies that heat produced in the resistor is directly proportional to the square of the current for the given resistance, that is I square. Heat produced is directly proportional to square of the current. It is directly proportional to resistance R and is directly proportional to time t for which the current flows. Now this statement we have written from what the formula is. H is equal to I square RT. H is equal to I square RT. So we say that H is particularly directly proportional to heat produced is directly proportional to square of the current. Square of the current is directly proportional to resistance R and is directly proportional to time t for which the current flows. So do remember this particular result, H is equal to I square RT. Based on that we have a sum. That sum is I have taken from the example only, that is example 12.10. It has already been done in the textbook. I am trying to explain the same. An electric iron consumes energy at the rate of 840 watt when heating is at maximum rate and 360 watt when heating is at the minimum. The voltage is 220. Voltage supply is 220. What are the current and the resistance in each case? So we have been given wattage, we have been given the source, that is how much is the voltage. So we know that P is equal to VI. So I can be calculated by P upon V. Now that P is power and that is wattage. W we write it the unit as. Watt is the unit. So we have I is equal to 840 upon 220. If we simplify, it comes to 3.82 ampere. And we also want to find out R. So R is equal to V upon I. That is 220 upon 3.82. It comes to 57.6 ohm. That is a resistor. In the second case, we have 360 upon 220. I is equal to V upon I. I is equal to P upon V. So we have 360 upon 220. That is 1.64. So R is equal to V upon I. That can be calculated as shown. The resistance is 134.15 ohm. This is how this sum is done. Let's see another sum. 100 joule of heat is produced each second in a 4 ohm resistance. Find the potential difference across the resistor. 100 ohm heat is produced. 100 joule of heat is produced each second in a 4 ohm resistance. Find the potential difference. So we have been given H. H is equal to 100 joule. R is given 4 ohm and time is given 1 second. So we can calculate. We know the formula H is equal to I square RT because we want to calculate current. So we can form an equation from earlier one. H is equal to I square RT. So I square will be H upon RT. So I will be under root H upon RT. When we place the value, H is 100, R is 4, T is 1 second. So it is 100 upon 4. 100 upon 4 will be 25. So root 25 is going to be 5 ampere. So I is equal to 5 ampere. Now using Ohm's law, V is equal to IR, we can calculate potential difference V. So V is equal to IR. So 5 into 4, 20 volt. So 20 volt is current is passing. 20 volt potential difference is the source. So do remember, this is how the sums are done. In our next session, we will be talking about practical application of heating effect of electric current. Practical application, where practically it is used. We will also be talking about practical unit of electric power. Whatever power or whatever energy that we consume for domestic purpose, that is rated or that is given in terms of kilowatt hour. So that practical unit we will be talking about, and 1 or 2 sums related to that we will be doing, and that will be end of the chapter because electric power is the last topic. I hope you have understood everything. Hope you are doing at home. Better do. This is a very important chapter. It is roughly around, its weightage is 8 marks. So you cannot neglect undergoing this particular chapter. You need to study. So do remember, do write everything that has been done. Whatever circuits are there, along with drawing the circuits, you will have to answer those questions. After this chapter gets over, you will be also answering this textual exercise in your notebook. and notebooks we will be checking actually when we will meet in the school. Till then, do study, do learn everything, and do sit at home and do your work regularly. Consistent hard work is essential for scoring good marks in 10th board examination. So consistency has to be maintained. Don't think that we are not meeting personally, and so whether we do or not, who is going to see? So don't think about it. Who is going to see? Actually, your parents are there who will be seeing what you are doing. We are seeing what the work you submit to us. Okay? So do remember. After this chapter gets over, I will be giving you a test in Google form. So that test is also to be written, also to be answered, and obviously it is an online test, and I see many students are not answering. So those who have still not answered earlier test, they must attempt. Do remain home. Take care of yourself. Stay safe. Thank you. We will continue our session next.